A week ago, I made a video about Visa, and some of you asked me to do an analysis of its main competitor, Mastercard. So today we will do just that. We will look at the recent Q3 earnings, and then we will analyze the company and we will try to find the intrinsic value to help us decide, is this a good investment at a current time? So first, the Q3 earnings. Revenue is up and it is a substantial growth of around 20%. Net income is also up. Not as much, but we are around 17% growth year to date, so this is really nice. Cash is also going up by around 200 million in the last 9 months. And one thing that is not so great is the growth of long-term debt by almost $500 million. So if we just remember that Mastercard suspended its business operations in Russia in March 2022 and take that into consideration, we can see that they are doing really well. And just to put the size of Mastercard into perspective, there are over 7.9 billion people on Earth, and there are 3 billion Mastercard and Maestro branded cards. So that is 38% of this planet's population. That's not bad at all. So let's see who owns this company. Individual insiders, that is an X, they own only 0.1% of Mastercard. But a really good thing is that a lot of people from the leadership team and all board members own shares of Mastercard. I would prefer to see the number much higher, but at least they have some skin in the game. Insider buying, that is an X, they are selling for the last 12 months. And super investors, that is a check. 17 super investors own Mastercard. So that is an impressive amount. But furthermore, among these investors, we can find people like Warren Buffett, Guy Spier, Chuck Akre, Thomas Russo, or Robert Olstein. And are they buying? That is a check as well. If we look at the Q2 and the data we already have from Q3, we see that super investors bought over 2.1 million shares, and at the same time they sold 1.4 million shares. So now let's look at the financial health of Mastercard. Return on invested capital, that is a check. It is an incredible 43%, and we are looking for a number over 10%, so such return is absolutely phenomenal. And free cash flow growth, that is a check. It is 13.3%, and just as with return on invested capital, we are looking for a number over 10%, so all fine here. Now let's take a look at the net profit margin. That is also a check. It is 45.2%. It is slightly smaller than Visa's margin, the main competitor of Mastercard, and I did a video recently about Visa, so if you're interested, you can find the link in the description. So even though it is a smaller margin, it still is absolutely fantastic. And what about shares buyback? That is also a check. In the last 10 years, they bought back 23.6% of their shares. This is close to 1/4. So just by holding the shares through the years, you become an owner of a substantially bigger part of the company. In 2022, Mastercard repurchased 20 million shares at the cost of around 6.8 billion, which leaves 5.1 billion remaining under the approved share repurchase programs. So they will buy back more shares in the next few months. And what is the situation with debt? It is a check. it would take them over 1 year to pay back their debt with a current free cash flow. So that is really healthy. And just like with Visa, checks all around. Let's see, is Mastercard paying a dividend? Yes, it is. Dividend yield is 0.6%. And what is the payout ratio? It is an X. It is currently 18.9%. And what we really like to see is a payout ratio of 30 to 50%. But like I always say, lower ratio is not a big problem. It just means that there is room for growth of the dividend. But if we get over 50%, then it can become unsustainable for the company in a long run. And what about dividend growth? That is a check. It is 17.4% 5-year growth rate. And they are paying dividends since 2006. And just in 2022, they paid almost $1.9 billion in dividends. Okay, so now that we took a quick look at some of the fundamentals of this company, let's value it using a discounted cash flow formula. We will have to estimate the growth of Mastercard for the next 10 years. And as always, we will make 3 scenarios of this growth. And because Mastercard is so similar in their results to Visa, we will use the same growth estimates as we did when we were analyzing Visa. So, in the low scenario, 10% for the first 5 years and then 8%. In the medium scenario, 12%, and from year 6 onwards, 10%. And in the high scenario, 15% for the first 5 years and then 12% till year 10. And the intrinsic value is $241 in the low scenario, $280 in the medium, and $338 in the high one. But these are not the prices we should be looking for, because we always have to add a margin of safety. I use a 30% one. And with such margin, we have $169 in the low scenario, $196 in the medium, and $237 in the high scenario. And the current price is $318. So it is almost all red. Only the high scenario without the margin of safety is in the green. Mastercard is an exceptional business that is growing, that has a duopoly with Visa, and that has such strong foundations that most probably it will not disappear from the market for a very, very long time. On the flip side, it is a little bit expensive. So if you are considering buying Mastercard, then do your own due diligence and see what is the price you think is fair for such a great business. Because we do have to remember that no business is worth an infinite amount of money. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see the analysis of Visa, you can click here. And if you found this video interesting, then please press the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. See you in the next one. Bye bye.